So guys, I'm gonna show you our CRM system with which we closed more than 500 deals last year, and this year we're gonna probably double that. And these deals are from people paying us 1,000 to 24,000 for the services we're offering. So we're selling consulting services. I'm gonna show you super advanced stuff. I know I have one video in my channel which you can see also advanced stuff, but that's like at the beginning of the video, like a shorter video. But now I'm gonna go into details, slowly explain a lot of things. So grab a coffee and you know, let's pop it. So quickly, my name is Nick. I have a company called Sharpify, and we help to build end-to-end marketing systems so you can get more customers, more sales, and we also help with client success, recruiting, stuff like that. But that's for our next tier of services. So now, as you have your coffee, let's jump in and start the video. First things first, ladies and gentlemen. So here you can see, so this is last year, we got 18,000 leads, because these were cold contacts. We also imported with leads from paid ads. We made 2,200 proposals, and we had 670 people say yes to start working with us. And we sold this much in Latvian market. So I'm a Latvian, yes, Latvian nationality and etc. And this many English clients. But this year, I'm just gonna give you a quick reference. And right now it's June, so I think we're gonna do way more. So this year, the proportion is way different, right? It's way different. So right now we're actually selling way more in the European English market. Okay. So now let's go. Let me show you some of the cool stuff you can do inside of Pipedrive, okay? So the first thing you want to understand, fairly obvious, that there are pipelines like these ones. So you can build out the pipelines like this. So this is what I would recommend: lead in, contact main, plan meeting, proposal, deal. These are additional things I have added based on my specific business, based on my specific service. So the deposit stage is somewhere where the customer makes a deposit. They didn't buy for some reasons, such as logistics, maybe money, maybe or fear. Those are the main kind of things, right? And fear in the company, fear in the offer, or fear in the salesperson. So we still ask people to do a deposit. So these people would be in this stage, and this stage, which is conversation in progress, it is made for us just to check how fast we are reaching out to the leads we are getting, so that they are like, so we call them ASAP, okay? First thing about leads, if you click here, there's a cool tool we use, which is called automatic assignments. So whenever a lead comes in, we have two teams. You can see setter team Latvian and setter team English. So whenever a lead comes in with kind of some title names, because you need to filter if you want some different things. So whenever a lead comes in like this, so the deal contains some information like this, we can assign them to a team, and that team has specific setters. For in our example, they speak only in English, and in another example, they just speak Latvian, so they don't know. But here are more conditions you can do it by. So you can do it by the pipeline you are in, some custom fields like a lead source. So whenever there's a lead source like this, give that lead to this person. So there's many options, right? I use the title because we have multiple lead sources, and then it's just like, you know, adding every time is bad, because every time a lead gets created for us, we just add the title like this one. So for the deal, we add a title, right? And the title is just like Eng, so we know this is like an English lead. Next, highly advanced topic and thing to do. So if you have the premium plan in Pipedrive, which is what I have, the professional plan, you can segment custom fields. So these are custom fields you can see here. So, and I segment them on different categories. As you can see here, I have a category called setter information. That's only about setters. I have a category called first meeting. This is the like closer has the first meeting. So this is about the first meeting, just specifically what happened in the meeting. Then I have a category about the closer information. Like the closer puts like some of his notes, which I will show you a little in a second. And then I have payment information. And then I have my client success team's information. For the setter information, as an example, I see, okay, where did this person come from? What is the lead source? I typically also see what was the campaign name. So I do run a lot of paid ads. So I see what is the campaign name. I see the ad set name, the ad name, and I see the funnel ID, and also sometimes the placement, right? Placement meaning Instagram feed, Facebook feed, like discovery, like stuff like that, and the funnel. And whenever the person, let's say this lead, okay, they lost this lead because this lead doesn't pick up the phone, but we'll still do some things which I'm gonna explain in a bit. But whenever we move this lead, let's say to contact made, like, oh, something popped up. So these are required fields. So these you can set up. Also going into company settings, I'm gonna move this a little bit. So going into data fields, and you, let's go to setters. So let me show you the one we actually have. So this one, setter. So as you can see here, we added that this is required. So it's required whenever the lead gets moved to this stage, any of these stages, and typically it's gonna be the first one, because a pipeline, you need to remember, right? It's like this, or like this, you know, like a lot of stuff, and then it's like a lot of leads, less meetings, less offers, less clients, right? It's like less, you know, it's typically. If it's not less for you, you're probably doing something great, but most times it's not like that, okay? So whenever it's gonna be moved to the contact stage, it is required. So you cannot complete the activity, it's required. And that makes a huge difference, because if you use the CRM and it's not like this, many people just don't do it. They just don't do it. So you can see here, it requires who's the setter, and then it requires the conversation result. This is in Latvian, sorry, but we started to track what is the result of that conversation. Because for my business, whenever the contact made stage is entered, that means the lead was spoken with. So we talked with the lead, so they have a conversation. So whenever that's done, we want to know what was the result of that conversation. And for example, let me give you some examples. So the result was we booked a call. Amazing. Result was not the right fit. Result was the person is like Indian, nothing to Indians, but like Indians sign up for us sometimes, but they like rarely even buy ever. So we have decided to maybe not even schedule a call if they're not like really like doing like 20K a month, very advanced. So we don't even schedule a call. Or the conversation was like, we can't help this person. So I want to know that. That's why whenever I do that, we can actually track it. So we can actually, based on Pipedrive's any custom field, if you have the processional plan, you can make custom reports, track it, and do it. And for that specific thing, you can see here, these are the conversation results, and you can see here the things that happen, and I'm tracking it weekly. So we started to do this at week 16 this year. So we're tracking it, and then every week I'm meeting with my setter team, and just like we're looking at it and thinking, okay, so how can we make the leads like you know, better? How can we adjust them? How can we make them better? Like all of these things, right? All of these things. And with Pipedrive, the next thing I wanted to cover also is we have like a lot of statistics, and let me just show you a couple of them. So we know actually, okay, how many leads, how many sets, like meetings booked, what was the amount of how many leads did I actually have a conversation with? How many leads didn't pick up the phone? You can see like in our case, in the European market, we're mostly running in European market ads. So we can see like 30 to 50% people never pick up the phone, but we are reaching out with DMs, we're reaching out with WhatsApp, we're reaching out with email. So we do have more of them kind of connecting with us, but not picking up the phone because people don't want to pick up the phone. If people call, I don't know, like a person doesn't, they don't just want to do it. Okay. So wrong numbers. Also, we're seeing like 10, like 9, and maybe something 6, but okay, like 9 to 12% of people just leave wrong numbers, which are numbers we cannot reach. They don't even dial, or they don't have a WhatsApp or anything. We just flag them as wrong number. And we're tracking this, and it's like really making us like, you know, have the data to improve the one thing that we want, which is the output of this system. And the system is the setting process. We want to get more output, which is qualified calls on the calendar. So this just data just helps to do it, okay? And Pipedrive helps our team to just like every time to just do it. So let's go to the next one, okay? Let's go to the next one. So about the first meeting. So what are we knowing and what we want? So we want to know who was the closer, who was doing the meeting. We want to know why they didn't close or why they did close. You can see here as a deal baby, or like you can see here. Then how many minutes in the meeting, what was the client's offer, what was the client revenue, what was the main challenge, what could you improve, and what's the next steps. So let me just show you how it looks in real life. So let's say I have a meeting, let's like this one, this client. So let's say I'm a closer, I have a meeting right now, and then I like move it to like, let's say deal stage, or let's say one step. So every time my team needs to do it, so they know, right? And whenever they move it, oh, immediately pops up. Whenever they fill it out, so there's a cool automation we're doing, which you can see right here. So whenever one of our closers moves a client to the stage, we're seeing it, we're knowing the details, and our sales coordinator, sales manager, sales like leader, he knows immediately, and then he every day when they meet, they can just talk about the things he have noticed, because he can maybe see some trends, you know. Then the next thing I like to do is we can set up automations by clicking more and automations, and the automations that we have are for client feedback getting. So we have automations where after a certain period of time where the client was working with us, we're sending him an automated email asking them how they would rate us, how they feel about us. So that is an automation we do, and this is also something we install in our mastermind offer for our clients, so they can actually, you know, have these installed. We just show them everything how we do it. And then we have a couple of automations which help us to reach out to the leads, nurture those leads, re-engage those leads. So automations are cool, so you can do a lot of stuff. Typically, it's gonna be what I do it. Typically, it's to create activities for my team, which they need to do, because they see every time an activity like here in the Pipedrive, which makes them, oh, like I need to do this. Or it is something that automatically gets sent to the customer, which is we build it one time, we install it, and it does the job, right? So that's the things we can do here. Next thing that is very useful, so I really like Slack, so we use Slack, and we have an automation with Slack here that whenever, and it's here in the apps, whenever there is a deal created, we add it and send it to one specific Slack channel. And that is, for me, a great way to see and feel what's our marketing doing. Is our marketing like good? You're right. I don't have the biggest company. We do like 7 figures a year right now. Last year we did it. This year we're gonna probably do more. And you can see here, this is like the lead flow, leads coming in, coming in. And it gets me the flow, right? I see, okay, like today we have like probably 30, 40 leads just today, right? And this is like yesterday. And that just gives me a good feel. And this is like from Pipedrive, so you don't need to use any Zapiers or anything like that. So it's really, really, really cool. The next big thing that I love is the documents. So in the document settings, so you basically go to documents, you can set up here an account where those documents are going to be saved in, okay? Then you can customize some things. You can, which I like to do is authentication code, which makes like another document, which I'm going to show you a little bit. So remove Pipedrive logo. Once they sign like a text message that they can get. And let me just show you an example, right? So it's basically, we need to go into the deal. We go to the documents and the contract. So you can create a template. You just send it, and I'm going to show you what happens. So this is how it looks. So I receive a notification that this document has been signed by this client. And then I also receive the documents example with the client's signature and my signature. And immediately I have an audit trail, which is kind of in a European market kind of like a thing that shows that this is like a real signature. But again, for personal experience, people in the B2C, if you're selling to people making less than, let's say, 50K a month, and they're like B2C kind of type of clients, it's they less kind of take it seriously. And I think that in Europe in general, they take it more seriously than America, but they still take it less seriously, as if it's like a bank or a big company. It's like different. The contract has like way more merit, that's my experience, right? Because I have worked with Latvian banks, multiple banks from Latvia. So I do take it from experience. Talk from experience. Now, next things I wanted to cover, I think is a very good thing which helps you to track these things, is to set up activity types. So we have a bunch of activity types, and let me just show you some of them. So a new client, potential assess, which is potential meeting. We need to do a follow-up, the meeting done. Meeting didn't happen, but could be done, but wasn't done. Second call, And then the D means my client success team, so delivery. I used to call it delivery, but now I call it client success team. So I used to call it delivery, right? So welcome call, consulting, launch, these are all again, things that my client success teams knows and we track it on. And this is also something we work with our clients to build out these kind of infrastructures so that you know your client success results, which I'm not going to cover this video, but I'm probably going to make one in the future. So this is kind of a nice thing to do because when you have activity types, you can actually track outputs of these types or inputs of these types, so you can know, is your team actually doing this stuff you pay them to do, you know? Kind of important. Pipedrive has projects. I kind of tried it, but I didn't like it, but I guess it's something similar to Asana, something similar to ClickUp, something similar to that. You can try it. I didn't like it, but it's there, so you can do it in one place. Email broadcast, again, Pipedrive does have it. It's a cool feature. I personally don't use it. I use my own, not my own, but like a different platform. I like SendFox. Very, very cheap. Does the job. I don't know why other email platforms are charging so much money for the services that they offer. I just don't understand it because they do the same basic thing. In SendFox, it's a little bit harder to build like crazy automation, but you still can have automation flows. You still can segment. So interesting. So check out SendFox. So it's a very good example. Inbox, here you can actually connect your emails, which is a good thing. So everything you do actually you can do in Pipedrive. So that's great. My client success team also operates in Pipedrive. Then activities, which you see what you need to do. So you can see I need to do some stuff today. So I need to follow up with some people, maybe some clients, so like that. Then contacts, people's contacts. And then I wanted to jump in, and this is going to be a little bit slow. I'm going to talk a little bit slow, but this is about insights. So this is the main thing, I think, right? For you as maybe the sales manager or the CEO or you, the guy who's going to build the Pipedrive. So it's very important to kind of understand this thing. So how it's built. So it's built by dashboards, which are the things you can put on dashboards. And these dashboards you can actually share on a TV with a public link, which is cool, right? You just have a TV, you open the web with the Samsung TV and you go to this link, right? And you can like see the dashboard real time. So it's pretty cool. So what do we track? Let's put like this week, okay? So a couple of things you can do. So I do great things for my leads, which get booked as calls on the calendar. And we do them in kind of segment them by how much money they currently make in their business. Okay. So this is for the offer, which is our first offer, which is Client Acquisition Lab. Right now it's called, maybe it's going to change in the future, where we help people to build a marketing and sales systems so they can make 10, 20, 50K a month. And we help them with actually like do stuff for them. So we build out all the acquisition models, etc. And this is just how many people were booked on a call who are doing more than 20K this week, like 3, more than 5K, 5 to 24, just starting out, like just starting out in their business, 15 people, making from 2 to 5K, 18 people, right? I know this. Where do I know it? Where? So whenever a lead gets to the plan meeting stage, I need to do app rating. So here it is like this. Then I just made a dashboard to just show it and see it, which is amazing, right? You just go and you're like, oh, okay, this week have these kind of calls. Okay, cool. So next thing here, this is about client success team. How many people have reached their first deals? So this week we have 11 clients who we help to get at least one deal from the acquisition models. And we have 6 clients who we help to make their first 5K or 20 new deals, which is great because they recuperated their investment with us, which is amazing, right? So we are actually tracking this. How many deals won? Just 7 this week. But the week is young still, right? It's Thursday's morning, right? So what kind of products were sold? What was the lead? Like what's happening with leads? So we have 267 leads by this week. We have 21 proposal deals, activities. This here it shows, but we kind of like do it a little bit differently. So the main activities we do follow and track for our setter team is how many dials, how many conversations, how many meetings booked, how many meetings happened, cash collected, revenue collected. That's it. That's what we track for our setter team. And right now we're also starting to do like talk time. So I recently have a client who is working in a huge company. That are making like 100 million a year. And so he said to me that my sales team has talk time, and they only do phone sales, only like with the phone. Like there's no Zoom, just like calling, talking to you. They have a talk time of like 6, 7, even 7.5 hours per salesperson, who's the top person, right? Not everybody, but top persons. And I was like, shit, my guys in a good day talk maybe 3.5 hours. So I know I need to improve this, because whenever they talk, something gets done. If I have a salesperson who's not talking with a prospect, they're not effective. They're not doing their job. So I want them to actually be on the call, talk with the client, do something, but typically talk. So you need to make sure, as the business owner or sales manager, your people are talking with customers. That's it, nothing else, right? Nothing else. Because all of this mumbo jumbo, them like checking something like CRM, this is bullshit. They need to talk with the customer, send a message to the customer, just talk to the customer. That's the most important, the most highly leveraged thing that they can do. If they try to they say to you otherwise, they're bullshitting. They don't know what they're talking about. Let's go forward. How many deals were closed by each closer, and then how do you make these kind of things? So all of it is made by two kind of main categories. So there are two, it's reports and goals. So you just click here, the add, you can add the report, goal, and of course make a new dashboard, but this is the dashboard I showed you. And by the reports, there's like gajillion options how to do it. But what I would recommend, what has helped me the most, is just starting with little things, like little things, like what's happening with my deals. Let's say, deal progress, right? Continue. And here, everything is based on filters here. So let's say this week, which pipeline, okay? And I can add conditions. So I can add the condition. Let's say I want to check which with only app rating of, let's say these kind of people, like only app rating is this. So what's happening with those deals? So here you can see it shows the report. You can see it by this style or this style, but here you can actually customize it. So right now you can see it's segmented by stages, but let's say I want to do it like this. So stages entered, and then I basically want to just see the ones I talked about, the app rating. So yeah, so this week you can see this is going on. Or, okay, maybe this is a bad example. So let's say a closer, right? But these are custom fields. So if you don't have custom fields, so you can do owner of the deal. So that's a different thing. Like every deal has an owner, but I like to do custom fields because the owner, if you have multiple team members reaching out to the lead before they buy and their conversation with that person, it's not ideal. So let's say this closer, this week. So you can see this person did 6 proposals this week, 4 deposits and 2 deals. But these 2 deals probably also are here, right? Because whenever that person is here, they also have been here. And why they don't have anything here? Because my closers don't call leads. They just take the calls. That's why, right? So, and when let's say this is done, you just save it. You name the report, let's say, and you add it to a dashboard, right? And you add it to a dashboard, you save it. And now, I think in here we added, so it's gonna be on top, I think, or bottom. Yeah, on top, here it is. So here it automatically is. And then you can reorganize it, like reorganize it, move it, make it bigger, smaller, change it a little bit. So organize it, and I guess you can add it like here, like difference, like this one, like this, okay? So let's delete this one. So like here you delete it, or duplicate it. And also, I would recommend, if you have something specific, you can just Google it, and you'll find, because Pipedrive has a huge library of resources, which I really like, and it's cool. And here also you can filter based on people, based on teams. So there's a lot of things, but again, it is limited if you don't have the fullest package on Pipedrive. So cool, let's go. Let's dropping some information. I hope it was interesting. I hope you got a lot of value. So hope you're closing a lot of deals, and I'll see you in maybe a next video. So stay sharp and let's go.